Yippee-ki-yay, mother. Shut your mouth.
Oh, God. Okay.
That's right. Welcome back to Barnard Babble.
Welcome back.
It's your boy, Justin.
It's me, Erica.
It's your girl, Justin.
I didn't feel comfortable. I know.
It's your girl, Erica.
It is definitely not your girl, Justin.
What's your name? Who are you? This is my wife, everybody. My lovely wife. Hello.
Hey.
Welcome back to another episode. What episode number? What? I hear you ask. Episode 24.
As my eyes slowly roll.
No, baby, don't roll them slowly.
No,
hey, y'all,
rolling.
how you doing out there? Listen, Christmas movies, Die Hard, they're the same thing.
I mean, apparently that's what it looks like to me after watching Die Hard for the first time.
That's on the agenda for today, guys. We're going to be talking about the classic action movie, one of the greatest movies, I'm not going to qualify it. One of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah.
Die Hard.
Yeah.
Starring one Bruce Willis.
Bruce
And a
Willis.
bunch of other people.
Yep.
Hey, y'all seen Family Matters?
Yep.
Have you? The black sitcom used to come on some channel. Who knows?
Fox, maybe?
Never came on Fox. That was literally the worst thing you could have said.
It was never on Fox? I feel like, I guess in my mind, all those things
Everything's
came on
Fox to you. I'm like, it
but
was
I
not on
guess
Fox.
You're right.
Family
It probably
Matters.
came on like ABC.
ABC, I think
or
NBC, ABC Family, some
or
bull.
something like that.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Yeah, I'm like, it did not come
What
on
came
Fox.
on Fox? Just Simpsons and Cops?
Yeah, those are the two main shows that I think Fox are known for. Then Family Guy took over, and then, America's Most Wanted.
Well, Die Hard has a lot to do with Fox, actually. I have a
In
fun
what
fact.
way? 20th Century Fox?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The building where they filmed this movie was the Fox Plaza.
Oh, really?
Like a year or two after it was built.
Well, that's
And
baby,
20th
that is
century,
a fun fact.
Moved in there. I mean, it's the Fox Plaza. Like,
It
that
was
in California. That is where Nakihami, what's the name of the building?
Holy crap. Now, look, this is Erica's first time watching it, y'all, so please forgive.
Tenchi-Yuen, what's the name of it?
Yeah, Tenchi-Muyu Plaza. No, Nakatomi Plaza.
The Nakatomi Plaza.
Will you go into your notes to try to remember
I don't
the
have
name?
that on my notes at all anywhere.
I didn't think you needed to.
So that was me doing really well,
Good
slightly
job.
remembering the name
Yo,
of the
so
building.
Justin, not Erica, Justin, this is Justin talking. I think our voices are different enough, right?
Oh
You
my
think
God.
so?
Yes.
I watched the movie growing up. I loved it. I would say it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Though having watched it today, we rewatched it for the podcast. Erica's first time watching it. My maybe like 20th time watching it, and there were some little things that I was like, I don't know if that's aged well, because this movie did come out in the 80s, y'all.
1988.
1988.
July 22nd, my birthday.
Erica's birthday.
Not the year I was born, but the
Sure.
month.
Hey,
and
you
the
know
day.
what? Close enough.
That's
enough.
pretty exciting.
It is.
For
So,
me.
but it's really sad though that you disrespected the movie by not watching it until 2022.
Well, I've seen like the first 20 minutes with
Yeah.
you some years ago. I don't
That-
remember when.
That's not a good. Yeah, I mean,
And
sure.
I've seen multiple reviews, and I know
Same
the yippee
thing.
yay yay.
Yippee, you didn't say it right.
Yippee ki yay. I
You know,
know that.
I know yippee yay yay. Lord, okay.
And I know he's in that air vent with the lighter.
Yep.
And he's like, should have stayed at the bar. I know that's a thing. And I knew he was barefoot. And
now
I
you
have
know why.
seen Die Hard movies, though. I've just never seen
Yeah.
the
This
first
is
one.
this is the most disrespectful part of this whole thing is that she's seen Die Hard 4. Oh, and you seen 3, right?
Yeah, 3.
Excuse me. Well, she saw 4 because of Justin Long.
I love Justin Long.
Listen, whatever studio exec was like, you know what we need?
You need fresh blood.
We need the youth in here. Yeah, we can't have an
Yeah.
old man McClane running around New York. You know what we need?
Well-
Justin Long. All the young girls love Justin Long.
Well, I think what they did was because that one was very tech heavy,
Uh-huh.
and at that point, Bruce Willis was an older gentleman,
Uh-huh.
not where he is today, but he was an older gentleman, and he doesn't, technology was vastly changing around the time when that movie came out with cell phones, internet, blah 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 blah, and they said, what's a sidekick we can get for him that would be a believable hacker?
Sure.
And they got the Mac guy. The I'm a Mac. That's Justin Long.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember those commercials?
Wait, I thought he was a PC.
No, you didn't want to be the PC. The PC was the old guy.
Oh, PC was the loser.
Yes, who didn't know how to do anything, and Justin Long's commercial character was, "Hi, I'm a Mac."
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Oh, you don't have to press F3 with
Wow.
me. You can just blink your eyes twice and I'll print your documents." That was the guy.
So you think Justin Long like tricked a bunch of people into buying a Mac?
Well, he has an air because of those commercials. He came off like smart, techie, savvy, cool.
That's probably definitely
and
part
I am
of it.
sure that helped him get the role in Die Hard
Listen,
4.
I'm making fun. Die Hard 4. I love that movie.
I like it.
It's like I'm not gonna sit here and be like it's better than 1 or it's better than
It's
yada
not.
yada. Die Hard 1 is the best Die Hard movie, but Die Hard 4 is the third best one. Anyway, it's a bit of a controversial opinion. I think I hate Die Hard 2. I truly do not like
and
that
that one
movie.
I definitely have never seen. I've never seen that either.
Listen, I'm never going to tell you to watch that movie.
Okay.
I won't be
Good.
the one.
I don't want to watch
Listen, guys, tell me your list out there. What's your ranking? What's your order? Mine is 1, amazing movie.
Mm-hmm.
Top tier. 3, Samuel L. Jackson, y'all.
And that one I had seen several times.
You've seen that one as well.
Being black and my parents.
Yeah, you have
They
to.
rewatched that one with Samuel L. Jackson like a million times, like in
Yeah.
my house. Like
Yeah.
I felt like it was always on. Like that, the part where the flood, the water's coming up.
Yes.
Like it's just very vivid in my
Well-
mind, that scene.
Well, there's like 3 moments that are vivid in my mind with that movie, but I'll just talk about one. Well, the sign. Bruce Willis having to wear that sign.
It said bad stuff on it, didn't it?
Wow, that one didn't stick with you, huh?
No.
That's the one that got me. Like, I was like, whoa, man.
Yeah.
And then, like, the guy, like, throw the knife at the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not talking about all those movies.
Your order, though, you never said it.
Oh, what's my order? Oh, I mean, it's obvious at this point. It goes 1, it goes 3, it goes 4, it goes, well, I guess 2, then 5. Full transparency, never seen 5. But from
That's the one with John Courtney?
No, Jai
Who's in
Courtney. Jai Courtney.
How am I saying his name?
What'd you say?
John. It's not John?
You thought that Boomerang and the guy who's in a bunch of random movies, you thought his name was John Courtney?
Well, tell me what it is, please.
Jai.
Jai Courtney.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you spell it Jai.
Sorry, that's a made-up name.
Made-up name.
No one knows anyone else named Jai.
I don't know if he's from the States.
No, I'm sure he's not, but give me some
Made-up
slack.
name.
I just felt like everyone was just saying John really weird.
This whole time?
Yeah, the whole freaking time.
The whole time?
The whole time.
Listen,
Yes.
baby, listen. No, Jai, look. I don't expect you to know everything about that man.
Sure.
But what I
There's
do,
no
anyway,
end. There's no end.
But what I do expect you to know is because I do expect you to know his name because you like movies, you know movies. So knowing that man's name is not a big deal.
I've
to
never
me.
looked up John Courtney before in my
Well,
life. Therefore,
yeah, 'cause
I've
he
never
doesn't
needed
exist.
to know.
But
No,
Jai Courtney does.
I've never needed to know. I don't care who the actor was that played Boomerang in Suicide Squad. He did a great job. He did.
Disrespect. I
But-
tell you, this whole episode's gonna be about disrespect.
Nobody's Googling that guy. Everyone's looking up freaking Harley Quinn.
Anyway, listen. While people were apparently looking up Harley Quinn, I was looking up Jai Courtney. Well, no, I mean, because he's been around for a while.
He has.
So, like, I forget. I don't even know his catalog of movies. I know there's a bunch I'm not even thinking about. But that 5th movie, from everything I've been told, was an abomination. Like, people who like the 4th one were like, listen, guys, it's a fun little dumb action movie. It's ridiculous. Turn your brain off type movie. The 5th one was just a badly made film.
Yeah.
Is what I've been told. Listen, maybe one day, when I'm on death row or something, I have nothing to do.
Oh, jeez.
I can, what?
What's the crime? What are you planning? What are you planning to do?
I mean, never let them know your next move, baby.
death row. Why can't it just be like your deathbed?
Well, I mean, I can
Like,
be.
why do you have to be a criminal in this
I can be
scenario?
falsely accused.
I mean, you're right. It happens every day.
I'm not saying that I actually did something, but let's just say in this scenario that I have nothing to do. I'm bored, and I'm like, well, the day's coming up soon. I guess I'll watch Die Hard 5.
I mean, you just
Ended early.
straight went there. Like, that's how my life is ending. Death row.
Yeah, with Die Hard 5, yeah. Wait, what if that's how they execute me? Like, they wheel me out there. I'm, like, strapped in. They do, like, the Clockwork Orange, whatever. Like, they, like, like,
with
pry
the
my
Visine drops.
eyes open.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no. They drop the TV in front of me. And it's like, this turns on. It's John McClane in Russia.
All right.
Anyway.
A good day to die hard. Yeah.
Oh, God. Anyway, hey, Die Hard 1, Christmas movie or nah? that's the, you know, like, that was the thought behind this. Hey, it's Christmas time. We like Christmas. Erica loves Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about, you know, movies and stuff here lately. So, hey, let's talk about a Christmas classic.
I could see, I mean, look, it's part of the zeitgeist, you know, Die Hard, Bruce Willis, whatever. And the original one specifically. So it's like, I felt like I had seen it, but of course I had never really seen it. But now that I have sat down, start to finish, watched the movie, I mean, I laughed. I was on the edge of my seat.
It was good, right?
I almost cried at the end a little bit.
Did you? What part did you?
Not when he finally gets his wife and they kiss, but when him and Carl.
Wait. Before you about to see what you about to say, listen. If there's any people like Erica out there and you've never seen Die Hard, please go watch Die Hard.
Yeah, go watch it. This is going to be spoiler filled.
Listen, I know the movie came out however many years ago, a few years ago. At this point,
I ain't gonna tell you how old I am. But it's old.
Quite a few years ago, then I guess
it's been out for a while.
Go watch it. Anyway, yeah. So at the end, yeah, Carl and McClane had a bit of a moment.
Oh, I can say things now. I can talk about it. Spoiler.
Sure. Listen, if you have never seen Die Hard, I don't know why you even clicked on this video. For one,
exactly.
So,
but yes,
we prefaced.
That's the scene that got me when they're peering at each other.
Yeah.
At the end, and they're looking into each other's eyes, and you know, Bruce Willis don't know what he looks like, but he's probably thought, "Oh, I'm talking to a black man." You know, while
well, if anything. Go ahead.
And he knows he's probably a portly man because of his knowledge of Twinkies.
His love for Twinkies.
And how Twinkies are made.
Well, if anything,
and then when they embrace, though, baby, they embrace.
They did embrace.
And I was like, dang. And he was smiling.
Yeah.
Like John McClane, they were smiling at each other. I was like, oh my God, this is like so sweet.
Well, he probably put two and two together when like he was wondering why this, you know, portly black man was staring at him smiling. And he was like, wait a minute, son of a... Yeah. And they embraced and...
And his name was Powell or something like that?
Al.
Oh, Al. But I thought his last name might have been Powell, too. Is he Al Powell?
Ooh,
no, I don't know if that's right.
I think his name is Al, and they were calling him, I think he was calling him, hey, pal.
Okay, he was just calling him Pal.
I think he was like, hey, partner, hey, buddy.
Gotcha.
I think that, yeah.
Yeah, his name is Al Powell.
Wait, what?
Powell.
Oh my, okay. Well, hey, listen.
That's his name. Yeah, so I was correct. Al Powell.
Hey, you know what? You were correct. I can't win them all. The woof. Oof. Okay. Yeah.
But I get it, and I get the hype, and I was just like, this is a fun movie. And once again, it's my whole, they don't make movies like this anymore thing.
They don't.
You hate when I say that, but it's just like.
But it means so many different things, I feel like.
It does. What, you're not wrong.
Sure.
It means a lot of different things.
Because they still make good movies, but.
They still do, and I was trying to think of something similar to this that's newer, that's people love, and I thought of John Wick immediately. I was like, you know what, people enjoy John Wick. The tones are different for sure, but as far as like an action movie, now there is more. John Wick is more pure fighting. The plot's not very important.
Hey.
You know, his wife been gone movies ago, you know? But the stakes in Die Hard are very personal to John McClane. His wife's in trouble. He doesn't know what's going on. You know, she could get shot. He doesn't know. And
should we explain the plot of what Die Hard is? If you don't know.
Should we?
John McClane gets invited to... New York cop John McClane goes to L.A. where his wife is a higher up
executive
at this
at Nikishami. What's it called?
At Nakatomi is building called Nakatomi Plaza.
Okay,
she's a businesswoman.
Yep,
and a group of terrorists,
quote unquote terrorists,
quote unquote terrorists, led by Alan Rickman, who does a great job.
Wonderful.
Amazing villain. I know, it's so sad. It really is.
I mean, it's truly.
He was a great villain. He's a great actor, but like, man,
do you know this
Hans
was his
Gruber.
first role? This is his first acting thing.
What?
He did some theater stuff before this. This is Alan Rickman's debut performance.
Are you serious?
Yes. I watched some interviews before we did this with Alan Rickman from the 80s, and oh my God, he was so just precious.
Baby Alan
interviews.
Rickman, okay.
Yeah, just so soft spoken and just so sweet and the interviewer was like, "You don't seem like a villain at all. And he was like, thank you. You know, his voice is just like, it's a character.
It's a
you know, like,
I tend to be a good guy.
Yeah, he was like, I hope not, you know, basically.
Okay.
But yeah.
It was that person's first interview.
And she asked him if he had gotten the acting bug from it. And he basically was like, oh, yes. Like, I'm going to continue to make movies. Like, I enjoyed making this movie. Yeah.
And you know what? He would go on to play great roles in Galaxy Quest. And he was that one guy in Harry Potter. Anyway,
stop it.
So
respect.
The premise: Alan Rickman. He's a terrorist. Hans Gruber. He has an eclectic mix of multicultural baddies, Germans and a black man, an Asian man, some other generic people here. I guess they were probably meant to be German. I mean, Hans Gruber. With the name.
Right, with the name.
Yeah, Alan Rickman's character is definitely German, but it was an odd mix of characters. I was like, oh, okay. And they're taking over this building. They're holding hostages, and John McClane's wife happens to be one of them. John was invited there.
It's the Christmas party.
For a Christmas
They're
party.
about to close down for the Christmas holiday, and they're having a company Christmas party.
Very simple story, very simple setup. Mm-hmm. And then he gets involved. He's, inadvertently gets involved in a horrible plot for them to steal money is what you really find out what the actual premise or like their goal is, which is I remember growing up, it's weird, like kid brain, you would watch it and then I would kind of forget of what their goal was, because at one point in the movie he's like, trying to stall the cops, and he's like,
right. That was my thought while watching it today or yesterday. I was just like, what's the point? What is he trying to do?
Literally, it's about money. I think they said it was $650 million or whatever.
Yeah.
And I guess for the 80s, because it's one of those things where, it's the 80s, so maybe, like, I don't know, because even back then, doing something just for money is always like, really? Is this money? Listen, $650 million is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, we were like, man, they had to go through all this trouble. But really, if you think about it, how much trouble would it have been if John wasn't there?
You're right.
It would have been a lot easier if John and Argyle weren't there.
Argyle, you are right. The plan would have went smoothly.
So how much trouble?
Yeah, they would have just had to wait for the FBI to get there,
and they would have executed everything perfectly.
Everything would have went
essentially
fine. Yeah, you're right.
So like, hey, look, it's a lot of money. You're already a criminal. Hey, go for it. So
he was already an established threat. They did say that in like a newscast or something about.
He was already a Batman, and it's like, hey, Batman need money, so hey, here's a good way to get some money.
Yeah,
because like you can have like a bad guy to have like like their ideals be justice and like
I thought he was. It was one of those things where it's like, you have persecuted our people and your company has done this and this. Yeah. And they even allude to that in the beginning when Hans walks in to the owner's office area or whatever. And there's the miniatures of like structures the company has built.
Oh, yeah.
And things like that. And he's trying to explain to them like, well, we've built them sustainably and cleanly and whatever. Like, you're getting on me for that,
No.
And he's just kind of like, I don't care about that stuff,
Yeah.
And he was just so smart to me. I was like, oh, he doesn't care about money. He's too smart. He's too smart of a villain. He doesn't need
is that what
money.
You were thinking?
That's what I was thinking. It's like, no, there's a greater cause for this man,
I see.
A greater cause. And according to Alan Rickman, in one of the interviews that I watched, he didn't consider his character to be a villain. He considered him to just be a guy who's one of those guys who's like, when he wants something, he does whatever it takes to get it.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. I mean, okay, that's a villain. But sure. Well, see, like, part of me, like, I like in movies where like the villains don't like mercilessly kill, like the hostages or people. He's like, look, if you just follow my instructions, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of thing. Though having said that, part of their plan was to have the hostages on the top of the building and then blow the roof.
Right, they were.
So they were gonna die. They were all gonna die no matter what.
Yeah,
so it's one of those. So he was he was Batman. But yeah, he was smart. He was calm. He was cool. He was collected. And listen, how are you gonna fund your operations? If you don't have money.
You're right.
$650. $650. Can you imagine?
$650.
$650 million. Goes a long way. So while it can be like, wow, just for money. Listen, they were gonna walk in and walk out of the place if it wasn't for the John McClane.
Yeah, he was the ointment in.
He
was the fly in the ointment. He was the ointment in the fly.
He was the ointment on top of the fly's back.
Right.
That's how it goes, right?
On the fly's ankles.
Wings. Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
The hangnail.
They got ankles. So and Bruce Willis was great in this. He looked great in this. It's nice to go back. I'm used to how he looks now, so it was like...
Because he's looked like how he looks now for a long time.
For a long time,
he has like a couple of phases, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I was just like, wow, he looks great. He gets so dirty in this and nasty and like...
It's a hard movie.
He's essentially almost naked by the end of the film. Like, his pieces of clothing just keep getting lost.
This movie is what's it called? Like a bottleneck movie where it takes place primarily in one location. I love this kind of movies.
Me too.
And I love in movies where like the character has a look. We talked about it. Actually, I don't think we talked about it here on the podcast. I think we talked about it maybe we did talk about it here or on Twitch or something, y'all. We have a few different platforms, but the movie. Oh baby, what's the movie with the horror movie where like the guy and the girl are getting married and they have to play a game and
Ready or Not?
Ready or Not. Good job. Wow, good job. The movie Ready or Not. Like they try, like we criticize the movie because they try so hard to give the main character.
Yeah, they wanted everyone to dress like this girl for Halloween. Yeah. You could tell. Like, but I really doubt anybody dressed up as the girl from Ready or Not for Halloween that year.
Like they were trying to give her like an iconic look.
Yeah.
Like by the end of the movie, she's wearing whatever her Converse
with a wedding dress
cut up, and she's bloody, and she has a look. And I'm just like, y'all trying way too hard. For this. So, having said that, like John has a look, but he goes through so much damage. By the end of the movie, he's limping, he's shot up, he's cut up, he's bloody foot,
ashy,
man. So, and I love the kind of movies where like it's a struggle getting through it, and that's like, and it's like the definition of this movie.
Well, that's the whole thing about it is interviews with Bruce Willis. He really liked the film and the character and everything because it is a more realistic depiction of action and grittiness, and it's kind of goes back to like the Indiana Jones of it all, or something where if a character is allowed to get hurt, that's what I'll say. Yeah, they're allowed to mess up, they're allowed to get hurt. It makes them very vulnerable, and then it makes the audience really relate to them a lot. And you really relate to John McClane in this first movie. And he also said that he talked to a lot of like officers, cops, and other, people that serve, and to get their perspective of how do you act when you are in these life or death situations. And they're like, you talk to yourself, you joke because your brain is just like coping. And it's just like, what do you do?
So some of those John McClane isms were what, ad-libbed or?
I don't know if they were ad-libbed, but
they worked them into the script or whatever.
I guess you asking questions that I didn't look up.
Okay.
But basically, he could have ad-libbed them. Bruce Willis could have. They seem very Bruce Willis-y, honestly. Like if you watch other movies, and he did a lot of comedy stuff. Right? For a little, not really.
Wait, pre-Die Hard?
No.
Oh, I was saying movies post Die Hard, like maybe he took that and that became like a Bruce Willis thing.
Oh, could have
because of Die Hard.
Yeah, he could have.
Yeah.
Anyway, but basically, he was just saying, the dark comedy is from some of those experiences that the people that he talked to had. Like that is how they would react in those kind of situations. They would crack jokes and make fun, even though this is just not the time. But it's like, this is what your brain would do. Well, their brains would do.
That's what I feel like I would do if I was in a crazy situation. Well, because I talk to myself anyway. Raise your hand if you talk to yourself out there.
I'm like, what?
You don't talk to yourself? Like,
I mean, very lightly, but sure.
Like you don't just like vocalize a thought.
I don't have too many full-on conversations, no.
I thought you were going to say, I don't have too many thoughts.
It's more like, where did I put that garlic at? Like...
I guess I don't have conversations.
It's like that, I'm never like, come on, Erica. Like, I rarely ever do anything like that.
Oh, okay, I do. Oh, okay, wow. Okay, for one, that's not a conversation. But
exactly.
You don't even say, like, quick, motivational, come on, let's go. Wow.
No, it's internal, if anything.
Am I the weird one?
Probably not. I internally do.
Am I the villain? Okay.
Well,
I was gonna say, to go back a little bit, what you were saying about Bruce being excited about the character being grounded and a more realistic take on the action. That shit goes out the window.
That went out of the window
in the
quick.
second one, really.
Quick.
And then by the fourth one, he's throwing cars and helicopters.
Right.
I mean, one of the big set pieces is like or is it a jet? Like a jet is, chasing him down. And that movie is ridiculous and it's fun to me. I'm sure there's some, diehard purists out there that just turn their nose up at that movie. But it gets ridiculous. It's like, well, could they have kept making the movies how they were making them? Because by the time you get to the third one to me was a good mix of, it's ridiculous action, but it still had like a good ground level.
Yeah, and I think that's because they had the same director do that one.
Yeah, John, what's his name?
McTiernan, yeah. He did the first one and the third one.
Very well, okay. I also say very accomplished director. He has had some bangers.
Oh, he's some cinema history, yeah.
Predator, that's the big one. He did Hunt for Red October, which I've never seen, but I know that movie is held in high esteem.
I saw it years ago, I think in school or something.
What is it? Is this like
it's like a space thing. It's like
okay.
a space science thing. Well, I thought maybe I'm thinking of something else, y'all.
Wait, are you sure?
Am I thinking of that Jake Gyllenhaal movie?
Hunt for Red October.
Let me know in the comments. There was a Jake Gyllenhaal movie, you guys, and I'm
pretty sure Hunt for Red October
based on a real life person.
I'm pretty sure Hunt for Red October is like based off like a Tom Clancy,
Tom Clancy
or something. It's like a military terrorist type thing
where the red fern grows. I literally do not know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure.
Anyway, what? And then one more thing I was going to say. Also, Bruce because you talking in the interview with Bruce, it got me thinking. I think part of the reason why I didn't really like a lot of 80s action movies and some of these movies growing up is because they didn't really get hurt,
Right.
Like you were saying, just the action for action's sake, and they're too capable,
Right.
Too good at their job. They were just too badass.
Right.
Like the Arnold Schwarzenegger just going through and just being too beastly was too. Look, I wasn't like, I want to be able to feel like I could do it. That wasn't necessarily it. Especially back as a kid, I probably couldn't even, vocalize it of why I didn't like certain movies or, certain things. But I think it's part of the reason why I do love Die Hard is because it is supposed to be an everyman. Obviously, he's extremely capable.
Right.
But
he's a cop.
He's still, I mean, he's a super cop, but the way the movie is shot and, the way everything is just put together, it is more believable that this guy, it's like if Arnold Schwarzenegger was there, it would just undercut the tension. It's because he's gonna get it done,
right?
And I think it's also a good good that they cast Bruce Willis, who was mostly known either if you knew him at all, you knew him from like a romantic comedy or whatever.
Yeah,
you didn't know him from action movies.
He was a fairly unknown actor. He was in a show called. Where is
what was
it?
it called
Moonlighting.
again?
It was called Moonlighting.
And apparently that show was okay. Like it was
I think people really liked it. It was one of those will they won't they?
Yeah.
Romantic comedy things. So he was almost like a romantic lead.
Yeah.
So the studio really didn't want him, but some of the people they did want was Sylvester Stallone.
See,
Richard Gere, Harrison Ford.
I could see Harrison Ford.
100%
I could see Harrison Ford doing it. Yeah.
And Ron Johnson, who I'm not sure who that is.
Ron Johnson, he played Big Daddy from Django Unchained.
Oh, that's Big Daddy.
That's Big. What you want to do with him, Big Daddy?
He's like, I see that.
Yeah.
I see that. Okay. That's
Ron Johnson. He was in that. He was
right.
He was the older guy, the Jamie Lee Curtis's husband in Knives Out. That was him as well.
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of movies, y'all. Forgive me, I'm not like naming all of them. He was I think a prison warden in what's the name of that movie? Assault in like Cell Block 13 or whatever.
That sounds like a movie, yeah.
I forget what it's called. Vince Vaughn's in it. Incredibly violent movie. Incredibly violent.
Oh, that's one where
movie.
Vince Vaughn got jacked, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
Vince Vaughn is like an I don't know. Does he get
say?
enough credit? I mean, this isn't about Vince Vaughn.
Sometimes I don't think
truly,
he does.
I don't know if he does. And I feel like, and as far as actor circles and stuff, everybody has always really good things to say about him. You ever watch a Vince Vaughn interview?
Yeah.
He is naturally so nice and funny.
Well,
and I don't know.
Apparently, Bobby Lee and him don't get along. That's like a whole thing.
I wonder what happened.
If you listen to Tiger Belly, I forget how it happened. Knowing Bobby, he said or did something heinous.
Right.
And
we love Bobby Lee, though.
Oh, sure.
We love Tiger Belly.
Vincent think it was funny, and he didn't apologize, and they've had a weird feud, mostly on, I'm sure, Bobby's side. I'm sure Vince has not thought about Bobby in however many years since that incident.
Maybe.
But that's I think the only person who maybe has something bad to say about Vince, and really I think it's Bobby's fault.
Oh my goodness. He's a little too funny sometimes.
Yeah.
A little too funny.
Anyway.
He be hurting folks' feelings sometimes. That's okay though. But anyway, all of those actors turned the role down. Didn't nobody want to do it.
Thank God.
But Bruce Willis says, well, I want to do it.
Yeah.
And the studio had so little faith in him that they didn't even want to put him on the poster for the dang movie, y'all.
That is so disrespectful.
They didn't want his face on there because they were like, no one knows him.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to want to go see this movie with some guy that they don't know. But
I mean,
the movie
I get
was
their
just
reasoning.
So good.
It was so good. It didn't matter.
Good.
It made him. He made the movie. The movie made him. It was mutual thing. It made him a megastar.
Right.
I think he opened up some crappy restaurant afterwards.
He was part of the Planet Hollywood.
Planet
stuff.
Hollywood. Yeah, that's how you know you've made it. You open up a restaurant in Hollywood.
Yes, the Planet Hollywood.
That lasted probably 8 months or something.
Oh my God. Well, and also because he was unknown and whatever, he was willing to do all of his own stunts for the movie. So basically, pretty much, I think almost everything you see, that is Bruce.
He was doing a lot of. Oh wow! I mean, it looks good. You can tell. The movie, these older movies, they look really good for the most part until you get to some weird CG or I don't know if they were using green screen back then. I guess it was still called green screen.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what it was called, but sometimes you get an effect when Alan Rickman is falling at the end and it doesn't look amazing, or there's little shots here or there that don't really hold up. But
I do love that shot though.
What's that?
Falling.
Yeah, so
because he did really fall.
Yeah, so
they
apparently
just
he
had
fell.
to impose that the bottom and everything.
Yeah.
But
he fell 40 feet apparently, which is kind of damn. Y'all couldn't done less than that.
3 to 4 times he said.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he nailed
3
it.
3 to 4 times.
Yeah, I mean the movie, I think even today in 2022 still holds up. There's a couple of things here or there that you're just kind of oh, that was a little weird. I mean, the movie structure, I'm trying to think if they made this movie today, what they would cut out. I feel like they would cut out the stuff with Argyle because
he don't really do.
He doesn't really do
much.
anything, and that's something they could cut out. I was trying to think honestly, what are the negatives? What are the negatives about the movie? Because most of this is going to be us gushing over it, but what didn't work, and maybe some of the stuff with him calling and talking to Carl Winslow.
Yeah.
Al, his cop buddy that's outside. That some of that's a little okay.
I think all of that worked for me because they set up a little arc for Carl.
They did about him,
and I was
being off the street.
It totally worked for me because at first, when Bruce Willis is in the bathroom, and he's healing his foot wounds, he's bleeding all over the place, and he's going through it, and he's talking to Al Powell on the thingy. And he's like, well, I don't take you for a desk jockey. What happened?
The way you drive, yeah.
And he's like, I shot a kid, and I could never bring myself to pull my gun out ever again on anybody.
Yeah.
But he saves the day. At the end, they give him a little moment, but it's enough,
Sure. I don't know. I think maybe it's because I'm just cynical and cold-hearted maybe. And I'm just oh, okay, enough of the oh, brother, you got any wives? You got kids?
They set that up for me. They almost squeezed a tear out of my face. I was
it was definitely sweet, but I was I don't know if I needed every bit of that. But their relationship in the movie is great. I'm not poo-pooing it.
Is he in any of the other movies?
No, I think in the second movie they're talking or something, on the phone or something like that. Which I don't think he needed to be in another one.
Really? Because watching this, I was I would have loved him to be maybe the guy in the chair, or I don't know, just more involved in John's life.
Hey, look, I hear what you're saying, But I do like the fact that every movie is like he is in a new thing with new people. I do like that.
Sidekick,
even though I don't like 2.
Sidekick.
Even though I mean maybe if he wasn't 2, I would like 2 more. You could be right. But 3, like when him and Samuel L. Jackson, it's like they kept introducing new things, a new partner.
Right.
I don't know what the equivalent would be in 2. Maybe that's why 2 isn't good because there isn't a partner. It's been too long since I've seen it, and I don't want to go back. And like we said, 4 is Justin Long. 5 is his son Jai Courtney.
Jai Courtney.
Yeah, so like Argyle. We keep saying his name. Argyle was the guy that picked up John from the beginning. From
the limo driver
from the airport. The limo driver, played by this young black dude. I forgot his name already. Mm-hmm. Don't know if he's been in anything else.
Don't know.
I want to ask you what his name was.
No, I mean he's got a great look.
Good look, yeah.
For that young, vibrant kind of character, he's doing it. It's great. But he basically sits in the limo the whole movie, and then at the end does the thing I said he should have did the moment he found out that the tower was taken over by terrorists. Drive your limo through that gate.
Well, yeah, that honestly is maybe one of really the only few
But I guess they needed someone to kill the black nerd.
Which I don't think he killed him, for sure.
Techie guy. Well, he didn't kill him. He punched him in the face. He punched him,
and the weakest punch in cinema history.
The hacker. That's the word. Yeah. He was a hacker.
Theo the hacker. He punched him out real quick. Which, when you think about it, so what were they going to do? Because, think about what was going on there. They were loading up the money in disguise as whatever. So they were going to load up the money in this. What van was that? Was it a van? Was it an ambulance?
No, it was a van. It was a service van of some
sort. Service van. And so what? Then they were going to just hack open.
Somebody was going to drive that van away, I guess. Yeah.
Well, they reopened it because at that point at the end of the movie, it was popping off all over the place. It was cops everywhere. So how are they going to get out of there? Just be like, hey, I'm not one of these terrorist German guys. Look at me. I'm a black American.
Were they all going to get in the van, like Hans Gruber and everybody?
Because, where's were they going to go?
They were going to blow up the ceiling. So they were all going to get in that van, right?
Where were they going to go,
They never told us their plans after they got
because the only thing we saw was that they were loading them. I never think, I never thought about it this deep. They were getting into that. I mean, I guess they were going to all load up in that van. Right. But at that point, when that many of them left, there's a handful of them left.
Right, just a couple of them left.
And so, were they just going to drive away and be like, hey, we're a service van, let us through? What was the plan there? Anyway, so, Argyle's character overall, maybe they could have gave him a couple more things to do to maybe flesh that role out. Yeah. Because otherwise, it really did feel like a whatever, little seed plot.
They definitely could have gave him something else that he could have been running around flipping switches,
something,
yeah, just something.
But
other than sitting in the car with that teddy bear,
and just him talking to it, and really, it's kind of a nitpick, even talking about that, complaining about that. I'm just really, I'm trying to be like a critic and be like, what was something that wasn't amazing about the movie? And that's really kind of the only things I could think of that didn't really work 100%. And that's, other than that, the movie clipped by. The pacing was great. The cinematography was good. There were good shots. I mean, there's not a lot that you can really complain about with Die Hard.
Here's one. Here's a complaint that I have. The first 15 minutes with that filter they've put over the film to make LA just look orange brown. I don't know what that. I hated that.
Yeah, y'all go back and look at the beginning of Die Hard when he's getting out of the airport. You see the city and they're driving around. It does look like someone just took brown paint and just smeared it all over.
It's so
everything.
Weird, and it was. Why couldn't we have just gotten a real sunset? What was that? I don't know what that was.
It did look weird. And if you're
they were in California. Yeah. I'd understand if you were somewhere else in the world where, oh my God, it's not going to look like LA. LA doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like that.
Yeah, they I don't know why they. If it was your first time watching the movie and you saw the beginning of that in LA just looking weird, just like, oh, this this movie's gonna be bad, isn't it?
And then the second it hits night, everything's
looks beautiful,
color corrected. It looks great.
It's a good looking movie.
It's a good looking movie.
Well, really, it's not even the second it hits night, but like the second he goes in the lobby and he's talking to whatever
there's
the
no
guy.
more natural
There's
light.
no more natural light or whatever.
But
and
it does turn dark, and then therefore, when they're near windows and stuff, it looks
better.
Good.
It looks
good. Fine.
Anyway, so yeah, but you're right. I don't know what that decision was. I guess because people think about LA, they think about like a
fog
haze
and haze,
the
marine layer,
a smog, if you will.
But that leaves around 11 o'clock a.m. That's gone.
Sure. I mean, like the movie takes. I guess I don't know how long the movie is, but
it's about 2 hours.
It's about 2 hours, yeah. And like I think it like pops off for real like 22 minutes in.
Yeah.
And then
the pacing's great.
And then from there it goes. But there are points where like John is just chilling because he can't do nothing else. He's like
he's waiting.
He's waiting, and because hopefully the cops help him or whatever. So like I feel like in that respect you wouldn't really see that in a modern movie where like the hero is just kind of like waiting. Like I feel like they would try to make him be sometimes maybe even too active or too involved in everything.
Right. He's got to be on the screen
constantly,
the whole movie or something. Yeah, and they don't do that.
Yeah.
They even give time to the newscasters that are kind of giving exposition in it's kind of a fun way for a movie to do it. They'll start with the newscasting and then go to the scene with the villains, but still have the audio going from
newscast,
the newsreel, and so and I was just like, oh well, that's
to a radio where they're watching
or a radio, and I was just like, okay, this is smart. That's how you do this.
Yeah,
that works.
Because I remember when I don't know, probably not the first time when I watched it, but just one of the times I was like, why are they always going back to these news people? Like, what's the point of this? And then it is
point.
It is pivotal. It's a long kind of setup to the guy kind of revealing who John is in the building because the terrorists don't know, and so they reveal who John is, and then through that they know that John's wife is there. So then they have a hostage. They have a reason for him to come down and try to give up because Hans wants the detonators. Give me the detonators.
Did we mention that this whole thing is based on a novel?
Did not know that.
I didn't know that. It's called Nothing Lasts Forever is the name of the book. Nothing Lasts Forever.
Name. Yeah.
And apparently, what's his name? Cowboy guy?
John Wayne?
No, not John Wayne. The other
Stewart.
one. No.
Jimmy Smith.
Get off my lawn,
Oh, Clint Eastwood.
Apparently, Clint Eastwood owns the rights.
Wait, Get Off My Lawn?
Isn't he the Get Off My Lawn guy?
What is that from?
From one of his newer movies. Well, it's not really all that new.
Gran Torino?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. He's in the city and there's people and they're on his lawn.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They're on his lawn.
They become friends by the end of the movie.
Great. Wonderful. Anyway, he owns the rights to this. Nothing Lasts Forever.
Yeah.
And he wanted to make it with himself back in the day.
Sure.
Cast as the main character who is not called John McClane. He's like Jeff or Joseph or something like that.
Yeah.
Which that would have worked.
Yeah.
Because in the book, apparently, the character of John McClane or Joseph or whatever, he's not as jokey as the movie character. He's more stern and stoic.
He's more Dirty Harry, apparently.
And more like Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that it would have been different.
I would have, because it would have been different.
But it would have worked.
Yeah. It would have been different enough to where it would have worked. I'm not sure what happened with that. It just ended up not working out.
I think he just didn't do it. Yeah.
He just didn't do it. He probably lost the rights, and then eventually they made Die Hard the way we know it today.
I don't know, because it was around that time. So I think them calling it something else, changing the name of the character. I think they were able to get around.
They worked around it enough, whatever.
Work around it or whatever, because he never made his movie that he wanted to make.
Sure. Some more fun facts about the movie. Baby, I think you have it on your notes. What were some of the alternate titles for this Christmas movie?
Okay, yeah, some of the foreign movie titles in Hungary, it's called "Give Your Life Expensive." Give Your Life Expensive.
Give Your Life Expensive.
I don't know. The Spanish version is called "The Glass Jungle."
That's a good one.
I think is wonderful.
The Glass Jungle is fine. I'm sure that's an actual movie somewhere now. Yeah.
There's multiple ways that title could apply to the film, so I think that's great.
That's a good one.
Serbia, it's called "Sell Your Skin at a High Price."
Sell Your Skin at a High. That's a good one. What does it got to do with Die Hard? Not too sure. But hey, that's so interesting. Like when I mean, that still happens today where, movies just, they change it. But like, so you're saying in Serbia, that makes more sense than Die Hard.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But I don't know if it's the best one because I do like the Glass Jungle one. But in Japan, the bootleg version, I guess the bootleg Japanese version is called Reluctant Hero.
We mean the bootleg version.
That's what it is. It's a bootleg Japanese version. Apparently, there's multiples, and they're all called the Reluctant Hero, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes.
Is Bruce Willis in it?
Yeah, it's the movie.
Okay, because can you say bootleg? You mean it makes it sound like it's not the actual movie?
It's not official. Someone is selling copies.
Oh,
ripping copies and selling them.
I see what you're saying.
The bootleg man.
I see what you're saying. I think I'm thinking about from too much of a modern perspective.
You are. Stop
it.
But
okay, stop it.
The Reluctant Hero.
Hey, very literal. Very literal.
I guess. I mean, I feel like
Bruce, he's a hero and he's reluctant.
I feel like he answered the call.
You know what? That's actually a lie.
The second he heard bullets, he got his gun. I mean, he ran out without his shoes, for crying out loud. He was ready.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of. I mean, you could argue. Well, man, I prefer not to be doing this. I guess.
Come to LA,
Come to LA. Make me a reluctant hero. I gotta sell my skin at a high price.
I will say it is nice now though to have context for the yippee-ki-yay line.
Yeah, there's a reason for it. Yeah,
my literal whole life.
Yeah,
and now hearing Hans Gruber call him a cowboy, and then him saying the line was one of the most satisfying feelings in the world.
You're like, wait,
I was like, oh my god. Like
it didn't just come out of nowhere,
right? It just didn't happen. It just because it could have just been. This is my catchphrase.
And then like I don't remember the scenarios from him using it in the other movies. Besides the fourth one, the fourth one is the only one I remember when he uses it because that movie was rated PG-13, and. But I think most cuts are. I think there is a rated R cut that he says the F word 3 times maybe.
Sure.
And like maybe slightly more CG blood. But it's at the very end of the movie where him and Timothy Oliphant. God bless him.
Timothy Bay Oliphant.
Timothy Bay Oliphant. They're fighting, and he's like, whoa. He says, "Yippee-ki-yay, mother!" And the F, the ending of the F word is muffled by him shooting himself.
Yeah, the
like
bullet
goes
through his shoulder, and it goes through him. I like that movie.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother! Click. And so that's the only time I'm like, oh, okay. But it's funny that became like his his hero catchphrase. Everyone knows it.
They did a good job.
But it does make sense.
And I love at the end when they bring it back. When John calls Han a cowboy, he's like, you're a bit of a cowboy yourself, And then Hans Gruber says the line. And it is so perfect. Like his line delivery. It's so funny.
If you've seen the movie, you definitely know. But honestly, if you haven't even seen it and you don't care, look up Hans Gruber saying, "Yippee-ki-yay, mother effer." It's amazing.
And then he starts laughing. John starts laughing. The whatever
villain starts laughing,
and I'm laughing, and I feel like I'm just a part of it. I'm like, I feel like I'm here with these guys. We're all having a good time right now. It's so good.
I will say this. So, in one of the behind the scene things we were watching, so they dropped Hans 40 feet to get him to look, scared or like surprised. They told him that, hey, we're gonna drop you on 3, right? We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, drop. They dropped him on 2. So he has a great face in the movie.
It's so good.
Like it seems like a very genuine surprise. Oh no, which granted they did
because he is.
Which granted
he was surprised.
They did the take 3 or 4 times. So who knows if that was the first one? Either way, he looks great falling. But in that behind the scenes thing, it said that apparently Alan Rickman was not happy. He was kind of pissed off with that. That was the last.
No, they said they wanted it to be his very last shot. Just in case.
Oh, is that what they said? Are you sure?
In case he got upset or got mad about them doing that. No, he was great on set and he was fine. Like
no. I know he was all that. He was an amazing person. Yada yada yada. Rest in peace. I thought that after they did that, he was upset and he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do anything else.
No, they had just planned.
This
is your last scenes for the movie.
Well, okay. Well, okay. Saying all that,
is this stunt, which is really his only big stunt in the movie.
Saying all that, I guess I'm bringing this up because I will say, talk about quibbles and nitpicks, negatives. The ending does just kind of happen, Like, if you think about it, it's revealed that Holly, is his wife. She's now been taken, prisoner. And then John just kind of finds him. He, it's like, I would say semi-iconic. He's walking the hallway being like, Hans! Just screaming Hans' name with like a, machine gun. So that's cool. But literally it's just him being like Hans stepping out around the corner with his wife. I got a gun on her. What are you going to do? There's two bad guys there. And the scene just kind of happens. And then Bruce shoots. You
don't like that?
Bruce shoots at Hans. He shoots the other guy, the other henchman in the head. He's done. And then Hans is dangling from a window.
Holding his wife.
I do like
she could fall.
I do like all that, but I think I feel like that could have been more. There could have been something more with that. It could have been like in whatever the environment they're in, like the building's starting to not collapse, but it is falling apart a little bit. But so like there was no danger of like the building coming down on them, or I didn't want that. But just I feel like there could have been like more of a scenario of like Holly running, Hans trying to get her, Bruce trying to get both of them, like kill Hans, get Holly, something a little more kinetic, because there was another part in the movie where Hans and I think Carl, one of the main henchmen, blonde German dudes with long hair, whatever, and they were like I like that Hans was actively in the action. He wouldn't just passive sending guys to go, which he does do because he's the head man, he's the brains of the operation. It wasn't him just dictating. He actually did get involved, but so I think I wanted a little bit more of that. I wanted them to. It did need to be a drag out fist fight. I didn't want that. I've never wanted to be like, nah, Bruce should have punched him a bunch of times. I didn't want that, but I did want more from that. And watching it today, I was like, oh, that's right. He kind of just goes down the hallway, does the clever thing of having the gun taped behind his back, which is cool, and then Hans kind of slips out the window.
I don't know. No, I think it was fine for me because they had just had a giant explosion on the roof. He just, jumped off of it, blasted through a window, and like
a bunch of stuff happens.
I was just like, and he's so done. Like him, that leading up to that confrontation,
he's very tired.
He's limping. He's tired. He just looks. I mean, his wife is like, "Oh my God," when she looks at him because. Yeah. You can't even recognize him. He just looks wild.
He's had a night.
So I felt like having that little calmness, like he's done so much.
Sure.
This for 2 hours. It was appropriate to me. He got his last full. He shoots the guy dead between the eyes like a freaking cowboy. Yeah. Okay?
Cowboy?
I mean, but it's coming to my brain right now. Like I see it. Okay. They have the whole John Wayne conversation, Clint Eastwood. They have the combo, and he does the thing with his arm over the other, like a freaking cowboy.
Sure.
Shoots the guy between the eyes. Shoots Hans real quick.
Yeah.
His wife is like dangling. I was in it. I was like, oh my God.
It could resolve the exact same way. You just want
a chase leading up to
I don't know. I just wanted more from that. And to be clear, 2 hours, but who knows how long it took place in the actual movie. I'm sure it was a lot longer than 2 hours.
Okay, well, yeah. All right,
I'm sure time progressed. It was probably only 6 hours. And I think he was in there for a while. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, I feel like it was thematic. It was set up. It was yada yada. They had referenced cowboy and they had done a bunch of I just think I wanted more of just a little bit more kinetic.
That's
little
your
bit
action
there at the end.
Lizard brain. That's what.
Listen,
that is.
I didn't want to drag out John Wick fight. I didn't want, like I said, I didn't want a fist fight. I just wanted a little bit more there at the end, just a little bit.
Okay,
just a little bit.
You wanted his wife to like kick Hans in the balls or something.
Honestly, maybe like. I don't want it to be like a cliche or like a joke.
A movie today would have done that. They would have probably given the wife maybe a little bit more something to do or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
like stomp on his foot or something.
I just didn't care. I was just like, is John gonna be okay? That was my concern. Like, is he gonna be all right?
Is that a clone in the next three, 4 movies?
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what?
Because you've seen the other movies, but yeah.
Well, I was thinking of that Bruce Willis movie where you can hook your body up to like
what, Surrogates?
Surrogate, yeah, that's what I thought you were referencing.
I actually like that movie quite a bit. I don't know, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember liking Surrogates quite a bit.
Good old Bruce Willis.
Anyway, so look, y'all. the age old argument, is it a Christmas movie? I think is truly laid to rest. It is.
Well, as
it takes,
someone who loves Christmas and
you agree?
I've seen a million Christmas movies, and usually a lot of the time, sometimes you are like, okay, no, this isn't. It's just not. But watching it, there's Christmas trees in multiple shots. Santa Claus is in multiple shots. They play Christmas music.
There could have been more. Like the very end, there's music. But like, I will say this. Oh yeah, there was some Run DMC Christmas music. There were iconic Christmas songs throughout. I think, and maybe this is my hacky filmmaker part of me coming out. He should have killed somebody with like a candy cane. he should have.
Yeah, that's what that. Yeah, you're right. That is a hacky filmmaker.
When he's like fighting Carl, whatever, he maybe should have strung him up with like some Christmas lights.
Blonde, long-haired guy. Because I'm saying Carl as in Carl Winslow.
Oh, sorry,
when
y'all.
I say Carl, I'm talking about Al Powell.
Sorry, we have been going back and forth saying Carl Winslow, and I've been saying Carl. Well, I think for the most part, when I mean Carl, I'm talking about the terrorist Carl.
Okay.
But yeah, when he fights the blondie, he should have strung him up with some Christmas lights, and then like threw like a gingerbread at him or something.
Sure.
Like, okay, I'm mostly joking, but like the actual Nakatomi Plaza itself, there wasn't a lot of Christmas decorations around. So honestly, you can't forget that it's supposed to be taking place on Christmas night or Christmas Eve or whatever, because people will mention it. Hey, it's Christmas Eve. You can't do that.
Yeah, Hans Gruber has a great line about it being Christmas, the season of miracles, or something.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm wrong. There, because I was about to say it's laid to rest, but then I'm saying over here going like there could have been more.
You're fighting it.
I'm fighting it. I'm fighting my base instincts.
Let this be the seasonal Christmas holiday movie that it is.
It is a Christmas movie.
That's what it is, and it is great. I am so happy I watched it finally in completion. I get everything and the lore and the characters. I am shipping Carl and John now. Carl Winslow and John. I'm shipping them together. Forget his wife.
Al Powell, Forget his wife.
Forget his wife. She never believed in him. She left him for her job. Boo her.
I'm pretty sure they are separated by the second movie. So yes.
They're not together. I don't think after this movie. So, no, but it is good. She went for her dream, and he could have been more supportive. He could have been more supportive of his wife.
But you know who's supportive? Carl.
Carl was supportive.
Carl's supportive.
And he went on to be supportive of Steve Urkel and what was her name? Lisa? Was the girl's name Lisa?
Lisa.
Yeah, and Family Matters.
Wait, what's her name? Is it Lisa?
I think it's Lisa.
Man, Family Matters. That thing is like a blur.
Yeah.
You know what? I watched
just one big Steve Urkel face for me.
I watched that whole show. I think I've seen every episode. But wow, if I cannot remember a single thing about it right now. Stefan, time travel maybe.
Yeah.
There was a episode where is her name Lisa? Damn, is it Lisa?
I feel like it's not Lisa for some reason, but I also feel like
Meg?
we're close.
Anyway, there's an episode where she found a gun and it was a bully. Anyway, y'all.
Yeah, that was
one. So now this movie is up there with Jingle All the Way, Santa Claus, It's a Wonderful Life. When people think about, like the panty, what's the word?
Pantheon?
Pantheon. The panty. The panty of Christmas movies.
Yeah.
This is like, top 5 easily.
It's great. I was just so glad that it was good because, you get nervous about the older movies and things.
Sure. I've shown you movies that I claim up and down that I love, and then we're watching it. I feel bad that I talk so high.
I keep trying to show you Indiana Jones, and I just don't know if it's ever going to click.
Hey, guys, tell me in the comments down below. Should I watch Indiana Jones?
Yes.
Listen, okay, hold on. I just want to make sure people know. I have seen the first Indiana Jones.
Right.
Which one is that?
And you've seen Temple of Doom.
With the big ball?
Yeah, the first one's got the big ball, yeah.
Does it?
Yes.
And the second one has the Asian child?
The second one has all the racial stereotypes in it. Short Round is in it, yes. Short Round is in the second one.
I think I have seen the first 2 movies.
And the third one has Sean Connery.
Haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's good.
Have not seen that one.
I like all of them. Some people don't like them.
I have seen Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I have seen that one.
Of course, yeah.
So thank God for that.
Of course, you've seen that one.
Anyway, Merry Christmas, y'all.
Merry Christmas, you guys. Let us know in the comments, though, where you stand with the whole Die Hard thing. I think it's been put to rest at this point. To me, clearly, this is a Christmas movie, but y'all let us know in the comments.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, y'all let us know in the comments if you think it is or if not. Or what movies do you think are Christmas movies that,
don't
maybe
get enough
aren't.
recognition?
Yeah, that don't get a lot of recognition. Like maybe Batman Returns, which I think we might talk about.
Batman Returns is
next
not a Christmas movie. We will fight over this.
Oh, okay. Let's fight.
Gremlins is, though. Maybe? No, Gremlins is definitely a Christmas movie.
Gremlins is definitely.
That's definitely. Listen, just because it's hard doesn't mean it's not a Christmas movie. Listen.
Well, that's the argument. That's the argument.
See, that's not a good argument because Christmas, shouldn't automatically mean like happy, like family, good,
Yeah.
Who says so? Jesus?
Oh, no.
Anyway,
I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, y'all go watch Die Hard if you've never seen it, or pop it out again, rewatch it again or something. Tis the season for this one, and it might become a Christmas tradition for me. I might watch Die Hard every year now around the holidays.
We have to watch. Our tradition is usually It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah. And now we should add Die Hard to that.
I love it if that's what's going to happen. Okay, I'm here for that every year. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to wrap it up.
Or listening. Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah, for listening. Sorry. Thank you guys so much for listening. We're going to wrap it up. And we'll be back with something else next time.
Yeah, y'all. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yippee-ki-yay. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. If you enjoyed what you heard, check us out on Twitch at twitch.tv/Barnard Babble. That's BARNARD BABBLE.